Not everybody has the desire, ability, or capacity to deal with young professionals. Are some of you okay? I'm only asking because I'm really trying to understand why y'all eating me up in the comments. Let me say two things real quick. I got a job. I done had a job since 2 days after I turned 16, okay? And at this next birthday, I will be 45 years old. So let me clarify a couple of things. Here is why I think y'all are so up and down my comments being so aggressive and angry. And it is also probably why two things can be true. One, that baby could also feel like, yes, I know better. I know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. She was probably given more grace than she should have, right? She was probably also given an opportunity to recalibrate her situation, and she didn't. She didn't take that opportunity. But we've all been young and bumped our heads, number one. Number two, some of y'all are angry, and you take that anger and attitude into the offices in which you work. So when young people come in, you don't know how to relate to them because you think they lazy, they this, they that, they whatever. You just don't understand it. And I understand that. Not everybody has the desire, ability, or capacity to deal with young professionals. I know that full well. I have, the better part of my career, worked mostly with young paraprofessionals. The very early part of my career, I worked with young paraprofessionals. Mid-career, I worked with the folks right out of college, right? Dealing social media, manage a social media team. And all of those women were 20-something, right? I worked at a content marketing agency, and every staff member I had was in her early to mid-20s. Nobody cracked 25. Do you hear me? So I have always had this ability to work with young adults. At my current position, and over the years, I have mentored, I have managed, I have, given great sound sage advice to. I still give resume and career advice to people who are interested in it, right? So, and if I owe you an email, I apologize. You know who you are. But I'm saying that to say some of the concepts and some of the comments that have been left on this video are wild. And yes, we only need to give experience and understanding and impart information and wisdom onto people who need it. But the term old fool exists because somebody grew up and nobody caught them. So here is our opportunity to improve our community, our culture, how we are seen in the workplace, all of those things. But there is so many other training grounds for other cultures, and we don't get those same training grounds. And then when we get into places of power, or we get into positions of power, we may not also be training up our children. We may not be coaching them up appropriately. We may not be mentoring them in the way in which they need. And so I'm going to say this, and I hate to say it, but the worst, I've been super blessed to have good bosses my entire career. But the worst ones I've ever had, the worst one I ever had was a Black woman. Somehow we think when we get into a place of power, we need to pull the ladder up after us and can't nobody else come behind us. And that is what breeds into us not having young professional class that has any understanding, any wherewithal, no training. They're ill prepared. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how to communicate. Yes, they can't write an email. They can't do any of those things. But have you been able to help? Have you tried to coach? Or have you just reprimanded? Those are two very different things. I'm going to try to answer as many of these I can today. But I promise you, it ain't just them. It could be us.